In the movie Cabaret, there's a song called Money Makes the World Go Around. And that's true. I was doing some research into what's going on with Israel and Palestine, and came across something that's kept kind of hidden, which is there's lots of oil in Israel. And I was wondering, if there's lots of oil in Israel, who are they selling it to, and why are they so well protected by the United States? So I started chasing down that line, and there's a huge amount of shale oil in Israel. Maybe 250 billion barrels, which is the equivalent of what Saudi Arabia has, and they're very busy paying high-tech experts on how to get that out of the ground, and there'll be natural gas with that. At the same time, we have Russia moving into Eastern Europe, and I'm sure they're looking for ports for their oil. Everyone seems to be wanting to grab the European market for oil and natural gas. There is a Texas oil company called Zion Oil. They have 250,000 acres in Israel that they're looking for oil with. And there's another effort backed by Baron Rothschild, Dick Cheney, and Rupert Murdoch to go into the oil business in Israel, and they are famous for causing international chaos. There's probably $60 billion worth of oil will be sold out of Israel, and 60% will go to the government for infrastructure and things like that. Then I thought, I have a friend or an acquaintance who was an international monetary stock market guy, and he said the reason for the crises, pirates or anything that interferes with the flow of oil, he said just the tiniest little shakeup in the oil business, there's people who are hedged against the oil business, and millions just fall out of that tree for no other reason than people are afraid or a ship is late. I thought maybe that's the reason for all of this, these machinations. Then I discovered this thing called Global Research, which is a Canadian company. And I think this is the bottom line on what's going on there. This is all about oil. And I just want to mention, my car runs on water. I've tried to show this to people for 2 years, and not one person has been interested. One kid on a bike took a picture of it and said, I'll put it on Facebook. So the general public is not interested in that. So we'll continue on with oil. I'm going to quote this from Global Research. An Israeli oil well has been reported to contain a much larger reserve than originally estimated. The oil exploration company, Givat Olam, has now increased its estimate to 3.53 billion barrels of oil and has already sold $40 million worth of oil from the site. While Israel is now facing a bright future as an oil producer, there is one problem. Magad 5 is located on the Green Line, the official border between Israel and Palestine. Lying a few dozen meters inside Palestinian territory, according to international law and the Oslo Accords, the well should belong to Palestine. In answer to this problem, Israel has adjusted the path of its separation barrier, bringing Megid 5 onto its side of the wall. While the well is now under de facto Israeli control, most of the reserves lie under Palestinian territory. Israel has been consistent in keeping the Palestinian economy in a stranglehold, according to a recent report by the World Bank, and has prevented the Palestinians from gaining full access to key natural resources. According to the report, if control of Area C were returned to Palestine, the Palestinian Authority could generate an additional $3.4 billion in revenue, increasing its gross national product by a full third and freeing it from aid dependence. It is important to note that this estimate does not take into account any possible revenue from a successful oil well, which could very well make Palestine financially independent. Ashraf Khatib, a Palestinian Authority negotiations official, stated the Palestinian Authority is facing a $2 billion deficit and desperately needs to invest in major projects, taking advantage of our national resources. This is the only way to end the Palestinian Authority's dependence upon international aid. The problem for us is that the occupation is not just about settlements and land confiscation. Israel is also massively profiting from exploiting our resources. There's lots of money for Israel, which is why the occupation has become so prolonged, he continued. This is not the first instance in which the Israeli search for oil has led to disputes with its neighbors. In 2010, Lebanon filed a complaint with the UN stating that Israel had infringed on its area of the sea during offshore oil exploration. Just this past month, Israel refused an American offer to help solve the dispute over the Israeli-Lebanese maritime border. In 2000, oil was discovered off the shore of Gaza. However, Israel has blocked efforts to extract the oil, stating that the profits would only fund terrorism, breaking the Oslo Accords. Israel reduced Gaza's waters from 20 nautical miles to 3. By preventing the Palestinians from gaining access to their own oil, Israel wins in two ways. It is able to commandeer vast future wealth for itself, while also keeping Palestine dependent on Israel for its energy needs, crippling any potential movement for an independent Palestinian state. I thought this was bad enough, and if you follow the money, you'll find out what's really going on. But deeper than this, I think the real reason for the rockets and the bombs and the pictures of murdered children is to drive stocks down on the companies that are working in the area, so the global money peoples like the Rothschild and Cheney and Murdoch are able to buy up stocks in these countries. Companies very cheaply now because of the war, and then when it gets developed, they'll own a lot of stock in very valuable companies, which is how the very rich get even richer. They use their wealth to buy stock in companies during down times and just wait it out. I think that's what's really going on here. And in Afghanistan, Eastern Europe, and here you have people making money off other people's bloodshed. A couple of other things that fall out of this is Russia is hoping to buy natural gas from Israel, which is why Russia will back Israel. And there is a movement here to destroy or undermine the OPEC cartel, which is why this is the real reason why the Arab countries are against Israel. It's not because they're Jewish, it's about the money from the oil. They're a competitor. So again, follow the money. So if you want to benefit from this, I would say buy stock in Israeli oil exploration companies like Zion Oil and Givat Olam and Islamco, who are major players there, and Alon Natural Gas, because that's what the Rothschilds will be doing. Dick Cheney and Rupert Murdoch will be acquiring stock over there. So if you want to disagree with what's going on, get on the money train, because they hate it when the little people get some money, because they might take the money and do altruistic things with it.